Aloha and good day, friends and yogis. I'm Nicole Spirit. I hope you're doing really well today, and no matter what is going on, I'm here to support you and to give you a beautiful gift from my heart to yours, which is a yoga practice to help you soothe and calm any stress. It's also meant to be a beautiful ode to this year that was very strong and powerful for spiritual activation for people. And in particular, as we round into the time of the winter or summer solstice, depending on where you are, this is a time when we really feel a shift, a change, and definitely a change in the seasons. So in the northern hemisphere, we're going into the winter solstice, and this is also coming into the time of Capricorn, which is the zodiac sign beginning from about December 22nd to January 20th. The Capricorn animal or signal is a goat, and I always love when my husband talks about sports because GOAT stands for greatest of all time. So maybe we can think of our own energy kind of like that. And if you had challenges this year, if you had things that were going on, I love the visual or analogy of a piece of coal turning to a diamond. So we need that pressure, we need temperature changes, we need difficulty and struggle to end up with a beautiful gem. So there's an idea that I really resonate with about the oyster and how a little grain of sand, which is an irritant, gets into an oyster, and then slowly but surely a pearl forms. And from my favorite book of all time, The Afterlife of Billy Fingers by Annie Kagan, there's a beautiful line that's shared from Billy about how we are the oyster. We are the irritation, but we are also the pearl. So I consider Billy one of my spirit guides for the soul, and I've learned so many beautiful pieces of wisdom from this book that I had to bring it up today. So I want you to imagine that instead of a goat, which are really cute, and don't get me wrong, especially little Billy goats, when I was getting married, my husband and I met a little goat named Tupi, and he had a heart on the back of his foot, but you could only see it when he walked. So we visited a little animal farm where these little goats were running around, and we became friends with Tupi the goat. It wasn't goat yoga, but this goat jumped on my back, and I'll try to find the picture because it was really cute. I was just loving this goat. So every time we hear the word goat, we say Tupi is a goat. Anyways, maybe that's too much information, but I love storytelling and I appreciate your energy. So without my assistants here, the dogs, they're upstairs. I have to make myself that much more entertaining for you. No, I'm just joking. So please join me today sitting in Sukhasana, which translates to good place. So finding your most comfortable position. I want you to just find your breath. I want you to remember that when we respond to stress, that we often go into fight or flight, but sometimes we also go into freeze, or fawn is another one. So when we fawn over somebody, it's also another F word that I won't say, but the F word for freeze is the big one because our breath freezes. And so we can't do anything when our breath has stopped. And then we get stressed, whatever is percolating just really bubbles over and we've lost our cool. So let's find our breath. I want you to sit with your hands Either palms facing down or facing up. Really tune into what you need today. When the palms are upright, it's more about a receiving energy. You're like, I'm tired, it's been a tough year, let me just receive some good energy. When your hands are facing down, it's more of a grounding energy. You're connecting to the earth. You're really rooting down and feeling and sensing your own stability. And for fun, you might do something totally unique and different. Have one palm up and one palm down. How does that feel? Feels pretty good. So I just want you to play with that, play with polarity. Remember that two hemispheres in one head make for sometimes a very bipolar experience. So this class is also meant to be good for your mental health and any struggles that you might be experiencing in body, mind, or spirit. So let's take a few breaths where we activate into our parasympathetic nervous system. So let's do square breathing. We're going to inhale on the next breath for 4 counts. We're going to hold the breath for 4. Maybe a little smile creeps across your lips, behind your eyes, even floats down the body. Exhale for 4. And then end of breath, hold again for 4 counts. So following along with your own breathing pattern for square breathing for a few more breaths, I'm just going to babble on a little bit about what square breathing is good for. In particular, it's good for any anxiety or fear or anything negative really, grief, sadness, anger, frustration, worry, nervous energy. It's good for all the shadow things that everybody experiences, that we realize that our body and not only our mind, but our organs have a consciousness. So we want to just calm it down, calm yourself down. So remember, next time you feel stressed, you're outside of class, you're gaining some tools that you can use for your life. I want you to tune into your breath next time you feel stressed. Take maybe 2 or 3 rounds, maybe 4 rounds of square breathing. If you're still counting, that's totally cool, but let it become intuitive as well. You inhale for an interval, you pause for an interval, you exhale, and then you pause. So it slows the breath down. If your hands are in this configuration, flip them now. See how that feels. If your hands were both down, maybe you flip them up. So just play with a little bit of opposites or polarity, as I called it earlier. You know, it's the reminder that our soul is said to be perfect. It reincarnates as a human, as a flower, as a dog, as all these different things over and over again. And it's said that when we're out of a body, that's when we really experience what's called heaven, or a space that everything is just perfect conditions. We're just a ball of consciousness floating around like a star, like a speck of light. But when we come into a physical body, we have opposition. We have hot and cold. We have night and day. We have sun and moon. So I want you to think about that. One more round of square breathing, where today in this class, we will gain some tools to really manage that challenge that it is to be in a human body. And I know I wouldn't trade it for the world, but gosh, are there ever some days where things are a little bit more tough? And I'm sure you can appreciate with me that around the time of the holidays, there's something like 17 different holidays observed around the world. So there's Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and the Solstice and you name it. There's a lot of things happening. The New Year. So finding your breath, finding your mind, finding your body, and settling into a good space is really, really wise. It's important. All right, wherever you are, let's come back to a nice, normal, smooth breathing pattern. Flip your hands both facing down now, and give your knees a little bit of a rub. For the zodiac sign of Capricorn, we tune into the knees, the legs, and the joints of the body. So I want you to give your knees a rub. Now this is super fun. Bring your hands together, rub, rub, rub. Create some warmth and friction, some energy. We're going to feel and sense our qi, which is a word for energy from the Chinese medicine model. And then we're just going to play with this energy ball for a couple of moments. I want you to expand your hands and close your hands. You can curve your fingers a little bit. Don't quite let them touch. Maybe even close your eyes. Use your imagination that you're creating a chi or energy ball here. Beautiful. Now let's try something fun. We're going to bring this energy ball to our knee, just one of them to start. And you can just hover your hands, and I want you to take one breath where you send healing, loving energy to this knee. I'm on my left side now, whichever side is perfect. Big smile, I love my knees, I love this knee, I'm sending you energy. The knees are said to represent pride and ego. We all need our ego, or otherwise, how the heck would we navigate through life? Bring your hands up, let's pulse the chi ball a couple of moments, and then bring that energy of loving kindness, healing to your other side. And I want you to intend, create, sense that you're sending healing to your other knee now. If you touch your knee, that's totally cool, but just hover the hands ever so gently and be aware of that space between your hands and the actual leg. Good. I love you, knees. Let's release our hands, give those knees a little rub. And I just want you to notice the difference with the intentionality there. Good. So let's ever so gently start to extend our legs long. I want you to give your legs a little shake here. And I've said this many times before, how is your posture? Can we sit up, not so tall that it's hurting us, but we're sitting up with a nice strong spine and core. Now, if you have any low back injuries, if you have issues with keeping the legs straight, please bend the knees. See if that helps. And this is one of those little things that they say that yoga poses or asanas, the different positions that you dislike, are usually the best ones for you. So sitting comfortably, maybe one knee is up and one is down, but I don't want you to have any strain or pain. So find your most comfortable position. We're going to float the arms to 90 degrees. And we're going to take the thumb and the index finger together. Keep your elbows up and your shoulders down. If this bothers your neck or shoulders, just angle your elbows a bit more towards the floor. So the legs are nice and strong, whichever position you're in. I like to imagine that I've got some really strong earth straps holding me down. My core is really nice and engaged. And this is a beautiful move where we inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Now, if you find that that's uncomfortable, you can always choose a seated position. But we sat for a long time, so let's try it this way. Inhale, exhale. Is it available to speed it up? Create a powerful breath. This is honoring two directions that the spine moves, twisting or spiraling from side to side. Last 10 seconds. If it's available, you close your eyes, you gaze at your third eye in the middle of your brain. Last two, last one. Come back to center, inhale and hold. Beautiful. And then exhale, we'll gently float those arms down. So wherever your legs are, let's gently bring the knees up. I want you to take your hands behind the thighs, and we're going to come into boat pose, Navasana. So we're gonna lift up through the calves. We're gonna hold behind the thighs. You can also hold your calves, or if it's available, you can release your arms. Notice that the core starts to shake and vibrate here, and that's totally cool. If this is way too much, just leave your feet on the ground and just practice leaning back and holding, engaging that powerhouse, that second energy center, the second chakra, and also just associating with that inner fire. Now, I just saw this move the other day, and it's beautiful. I want you to take your arms out to the side, wherever your feet are, bring them down now. And we're gonna lean back and just do a little bit of mermaid seaweed arms here. So find a little bit of sensuality, find a little bit of grace, and find a little bit of grit in your core. Yes, that's exactly it. Excellent. Release your arms down. Come back to a seated position and let's rest for a couple of moments. How are you feeling right now? I want you to smile and breathe. Remember a 7 count inhale and a 7 count exhale is going to give you the perfect optimal conditions for stress reduction in the body. Another way to release stress is to smile. So find a cozy position here. You can even come into like a little rounded space. Make sure it feels good and just ground through your feet. This is where I imagine that the feet are like an electrical prong and you've plugged into the earth and you've got that support from the ground up. Good. One more long, smooth breath here, which becomes a long, smooth life. And maybe you're holding your own hand. And this is another tip for stress. Hold your own hand, stroke your other hand onto that one you're holding and just say, every little thing gonna be all right. Good. So now we're gonna come up. Let's do that gracefully and come into a place that we can really honor what's going on for our body. So I want you to lift up and come into a little yogi squat. So I like to have the knees open, and while you find your best position, you can pivot on the balls of your feet. When it feels right, you might even lower and root down through your heels. See how that feels. You can stay up on the balls of the feet, of course, as well. So you're coming into Malasana. So bringing your hands up, if it's available, I want you to notice the slouch in the spine. See if we can send the hips down and send the spine up and even open the heart here. So I'll show you from the side, and of course it's okay to be on the balls of the feet, but the difference between being here and being here, maybe you even push the elbows into the knees. So sitting up, imagining that spine elongating in both directions, you feel good, and you're also just really realizing which parts of your body are maybe holding more tension. If this doesn't work for your knees or legs at all, just gently come up into a standing position. If it's available now, we're going to release the hands. Bring your toes come onto the balls of your feet, and then we're going to do a couple of frog squats. So again, if this doesn't work for you, you can do just like a mini motion, or just stay standing in Tadasana, meditation, mountain pose, and we'll all meet there in a couple of moments. Can you feel that vigorous nature of doing 11 frog squats today? I'm going to demonstrate. Inhale up, exhale down. But wait, there's another way to do it. So if you're feeling super vigorous because Capricorn rules the thighs and the knees, we're going to maybe try this version. What? Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. So we're gonna do 11 together. If you've already started, that's okay. Let's get going and use a nice vigorous breath, whichever version. Inhale up. That's 7. 2 to go. Wherever you are, if you're leaned over, gently roll up to standing. We're gonna lower the heels down, lower your arms. See how you feel, catch your breath. So let's find Tadasana, mountain pose. You're going to situate your feet right under your shoulders, or even as close as touching. Find your variation. Find something that feels really good for you today. So I like to lift the toes, trying to hide that I'm slightly out of breath, and then lower them down from the outside in. So feel yourself grounding and rooting into the earth, and use that visualization of a tree, that you're actually perhaps in the earth with your energy like a tree's roots would be all around you. And you know me, I love to pick a tree. So be a tree on a mountainside and find your meditative position. Your arms can be out to the sides. You may want to bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. This is a focusing and concentrating type of position. And I love that the word Anjali is in there because it's an angel. So this is my next segue. Connect with your higher self as well. So we've got that rooting, grounding energy of the earth. And now we bring our attention, our awareness up to that cosmic energy above. And we smile and breathe. In mountain pose, I visualize being in a sacred crystal cave that overlooks the most beautiful view that I could ever imagine. I've got my little dream sign here. I wish it said daydream. So imagine in a daydream right now, being in a place where there's stillness and quiet and love, and you're just surrounded by nature. We're playing angelic music that's set at 528 hertz, or cycles per second. And it's said that when we hear these frequencies, it actually settles our nervous system. It calms our entire being and allows us to find that long, smooth breath. And if you're in a place where there's crystals around you, maybe you visualize that beautiful settling energy of your favorite type of quartz crystals or any type of crystal gems that are all around you in this cave of healing. And you have that vista to look out upon. It could be looking out to an ocean, to a river, to a valley of flowers. And guess what? Because you're meditating, it can change. It's beautiful. One more breath in your concentration position. The word is called dharana, which means to concentrate on something. So you're concentrating on this beautiful, peaceful place. And no matter what is going on below you, whether there's fighting, whether there's people here saying, do things this way, and people here saying, do things that way, you have a sense of the Buddha nature, where you are calm despite what is going on around you. Very nice. Let's release the hands now. We'll do a bit of movement. We're gonna come into some Qigong moves, energy exercises. Bring your feet to shoulder width apart if they're already there. Bend your knees just a hint. Sink your tailbone. Float your arms out in front. Make a little bit of space under the armpits. And check in with your chest. Make sure it's not puffed right out or sunken too much. Imagining like a nice long spine. And then this is really cool when you tip your chin down just the tiniest bit, that it almost feels like you're suspended by a string at the top of your head. So this is called Wu Ji. It's known as the highest form of nothing. It's a starting position. It's very calming and relaxing. Let's hang out here for one more breath. Imagine the stillness of a beautiful lake that is so clear you could see right to the bottom, and you notice it's filled with gems and crystals. Beautiful. So next we're going to float into that very easy move called Tai Chi opening. It's also called opening the flow. So we bring our hands in front. On an inhale breath, we ever so slowly and gently imagine our wrists coming up. Hands get about shoulder height, and then on the exhale, the elbows get a little heavier and sink down. Your center of gravity changes slightly. We inhale, we stand up just a hint taller, and then we exhale and sink the elbows. This is very calming and rejuvenating. It allows, again, for your nervous system to just slow down, to create a really beautiful pattern in the body of rest and repair, relaxation, rejuvenation. I said that like 6 times. Did you get it yet? And we just meditate while we move. Meditation in motion. Think about, going to the store, maybe we drive there, maybe we walk. It's a lot of energy, there's a lot of people. And sometimes people have leaky energy. I know myself included. We pick up on the energies of others. We emit our own frequency. It's like going to a store and there's like, however many people are there, that's like how many radio stations are playing different songs at different times. Of course, sometimes we go to the store and we hear Christmas music for like 6 weeks. So just thinking about your own energy, solidify, control, enjoy, be at peace with your own breath, with your own self. And if anybody's irritating or bugging you, you might just slowly imagine sending them sprinkle of pure white light. Imagine them feeling healthy and happy. Imagine them finding their own Buddha nature. Buddha simply means enlightened mind. It's when we come out of the area in life where we're really just concerned with ourselves and our survival. When we come into Buddha nature, we start thinking about others. We emit a frequency that is peaceful and calm, that maybe even allows them to have that essence. Now we're going to change things just slightly. So you continue with your Tai Chi opening, and next we're going to float into Kuan Yin draws a rainbow. Kuan Yin is the female Buddha, known as the goddess of mercy and compassion. She's sometimes called the Mary Magdalene or Mother Mary of the Asian world. Her name is Miao Shan. I think that's so cute, it's a meow. All right, so next, just follow me to start. We're gonna start with our hands staying grounded, and then we're just gonna lift the right hand. So we inhale, and we're gonna actually open the arm all the way around behind us. Come back to center. Keep that palm facing up. Now both hands lift up, flip the right palm, and you float back down. Then we're going to leave that right hand grounded. We inhale the left hand up and around, open the shoulders, nest. Make a circle as comfortably as you can. Then that palm faces up. Both hands lift to shoulder height. Flip the palm and release down. The knees are just a little bit bent. Again on the right side, inhale the right arm up. Exhale it behind you. Inhale both hands up. Flip that right palm and exhale both hands down. Right hand stays grounded. Inhale. Left arm up. Exhale back. Inhale, both palms up. The left is facing up. Flip it and then come back down. So I want you to go with the flow. Do what I'm doing. I'm mirroring you so that you can follow exactly what I'm doing. But I also want you to just find a peaceful place. If you learn one Qigong move, Qi means energy, Gong means skills or exercise. This, tied in with that Tai Chi opening, is beautiful. Tai means supreme and Qi means energy. I completed my level 1 Qigong teacher training this year, and my teacher is named Nicole. He offers many Qigong videos, and I highly recommend him for learning this beautiful, talented, amazing art. As I am still a student, I'm in that place where I teach to learn. There are many teachers of yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong. Just giving you a little insight into my world. I'm the year of the tiger. We're just finishing the year of the tiger. And special shout out to all of my tigers this year. And especially one in particular, sending you and all of my beautiful friends love right now, straight from my heart. Thank you for being so supportive, my tiger, guardian angel. Let's do one more round on each side. Hopefully you can feel the energy of where Kuan Yin is drawing the rainbow. All the way around. Isn't that so nice? Let's finish off with the left side, or whichever side you are on, just to balance things out. It's really good for us just to slow down, right? Beautiful. So ever so gently now, just pausing with your hands out in front of you. Find that Wuji pose again. Toes are facing forward, knees are a little bent, tailbone is a little bit tucked. The chest isn't puffed or sunken, it's just in a nice neutral spot, and the chin comes down a little bit to feel that elongation up the back of the neck. Wonderful. Pause for one more breath. Say something beautiful and kind to your own heart. Give yourself a compliment. Lovely. Let's release our hands, and we're gonna bring our energy into our legs for a couple of moments. Just taking the toes, and you can lift your left foot and just spiral around at the ankle. Hands on the waist if you need extra support. You can also hold something not moving. You can also just leave your toes on the floor, and you're opening up all the bones in your feet. So I really like the balance aspect. Notice if you're sinking into one side. This side is strong as well. If you haven't gone in the other direction, just really opening and noticing the bones. Good. Then we're going to shake. So bring your toes down, shake the foot forwards, shake it sideways, and shake it behind you. And we'll do the other side, the right side. You can lift the foot and spiral up the ankle or toes on the floor. And I want you to really pretend, intend that you feel this like opening in not only the bones of the feet, but the fascia, the joints, the connective tissues, the tendons, the ligaments. Good. Both directions, switch if you haven't already. Then we do the shake. Toes can come down for balance for a moment, and then we shake our foot. Shake to the side, and then shake behind you. Really nice. Then we're gonna bend our knees a little bit. We're gonna place our hands on the knees, and we're just gonna make a couple of circles. Spiral the knees inwards, and then go the other way. Good. We're gonna open our feet just a little bit wider now. Place the hands above the knees, and we're going to do a nice little shoulder dip. So take your right shoulder and dip it down, and you're gonna look over to the left. So you can feel this really nice stretch in the side body. You're looking out to the side, and maybe even have that little smile on your face. Good, come back to center, go the other way. Dip your left shoulder down. If it's available, looking out to the right, and continuing a nice smooth breath. Wonderful. Come back to center. You can toe heel walk your feet a little closer and roll the body to stand up. Bring your feet a little bit in, and next we're going to shake our tree, shaking. So I want you to start to shake and vibrate your body. And if you can smile, if you can shake, then you know that you're doing your best to shake off any nervous tension or stress. You can lift and lower the heels. And I taught a workshop the other day with my girlfriend, a journey through the chakras class, and there was a woman whose legs started to cramp. So we all got up and shook. And she was so impressed with how much better she felt, just moving her body. Nobody had ever taught her shaking. So shake, it's super good. And her legs didn't hurt afterwards. She's like, I can't believe how effective that was. So shake your body, smile, maybe even close your eyes. I love shaking the tree as my favorite description of this, so I want you to be a tree. Which tree are you going to be today? I'm going to be the oak tree that's in our backyard. It's a rare Gary oak tree, and I've named that tree Miracle. When you hug one tree, you hug all the trees. One more breath. And release. Continue breathing and just notice how you feel. Hopefully you feel energy, your chi, your life force, your prana, your ki, that's the Japanese word for energy, zipping and flowing through your whole body. It should feel really nice. Wonderful. Let's come into our static tree from our yoga practice, which is Vriksasana tree pose. So right leg is the standing leg, left foot, you're gonna place your toes on the floor and just have this nice balancing position. 2 points of contact, Lots of energy here to hold and maintain balance. If you're feeling vigorous, you might lift your left foot and place it along your calf. Try not to push into your own knee because those knee joints are super precious. They're hard to replace. And you can also choose where you want your hands to be. Remember, we were talking about dharana, concentration, earlier. So I want you to concentrate or focus on one point. It's called your drishti. You take your gaze and you look at something very specific so that you can hold your balance. If you're feeling super vigorous, you might bring your foot all the way up to the inner thigh. You don't have to. Please just choose a tree pose position that works for you today. Balance is super important. It's really good for developing mobility, stability, and strength, and it's extremely good for your brain. If you'd like, lifting the arms, palms together or open. What tree are you today? I am miracle. All right, change the foot position if you need to. And this is my favorite challenge in tree pose. One more breath. Can you close your eyes even for a split second? And balance. Beautiful. Good. Let's release down through the hands, through that foot, and we'll gently ground now through our left foot, and our right foot will play with. So you've got this really nice point of contact. You've got this strong left leg. You're rooting into the earth, and your other leg is going to be finding that grounding by moving. So we can place the foot on the floor. We can place it at the calf, avoid the knee, and be here now. Another thing I want you to remember is just breathe. Whatever you're doing, you're playing, we're having fun. Because this is an end of year class, it's going to be just a little bit longer than usual. So that's my gift to you today. So nice strong leg. If you're feeling like you want to try it, you might even just start in one leg Tadasana by bringing that left knee or right knee up, And if it's feeling available, I used to blame my yoga pants all the time. They're too slippery. I can't hold my leg up. But it's actually so much to do with your core, with your sense of balance. So it's almost like your foot is pushing into your thigh is pushing into your foot, and then you can play with where you'd like your arms to be. I'm super impressed if you've left both feet on the floor and you're just honoring what you need today. Let's take one more breath here. And again, maybe we find humble tree and we close our eyes just for a split second and see what happens. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's release our foot down with grace, no crashes, and then we'll gently just find our feet back under the shoulders again. So, what is my favorite position? My favorite pose, my favorite action? Definitely opening the door of life. So arms are at your sides. We start to spiral from side to side, and we let our hands make a little contact in the daimai belt channel of the body. So we're actually pressing our hands a little bit into the front and into the back of the body. And we're even looking over our shoulder a little bit. Light worker yoga. What does light worker mean? Light worker to me is somebody who brings more light. Not somebody who's necessarily like, I'm going to help you, I'm going to fix all your problems. Just maybe somebody who brings light to a situation that needs a different perspective. I love my classes called Energy Perspective Refresher. So to me, a light worker is somebody that tries to create a little bit of love and light and like an opening for success in your life. Now try a little variation. I'm already looking forwards, but see, if you're looking forwards, keep your head straight, and it's almost like you're bringing your shoulder right under your chin. Your knees are just a little bit bent. Good. And now here's a variation. We haven't done this together before, but we're gonna bring our hand up, the upper hand, and we're gonna pat our lung 1 and 2 points. So just in the area above your armpit, we're gonna have a little bit of gentle contact. The back hand is still at the back side of the body. So as I mentioned, this is opening the lung points. This is good for breathing, any respiratory issues. We've renamed the common cold to coronavirus. Sorry I brought that up, but basically this is really good to clear congestion in the lungs. Now we're gonna bring our hand over our shoulder. This is accessing an acupressure point, gallbladder 21, which is said to relieve confusion. We all have a bit of that. So we're like giving ourselves these weird, awkward hugs. Yes, they're kind of dance moves. We're smiling, we're breathing, and we're also relieving any mental distress by bringing our hand over the trapezius area between the neck and the shoulder. Bring it back to lung points at the armpit. Bring it back to your lower belly, the dantian, the lower dantian, which stands for elixir or gem field. Wow, love it. Slow down, slow down. And we're gonna come back to center. Release your hands, interlace your hands at your thumb points, and bring your hands over that dantian area. Close your eyes if that feels available, or just gently breathe like it's a magnetic energy pulling your breath, your inhale, to puff up your hands. The exhale, that gentle life force going out. And we literally do what's called magnetize the chi by breathing deeper, breathing into this belly area. Because I'm a Reiki master, I've been practicing and using energy work for 25 years. But I feel like taking Qigong has finally brought all of the puzzle pieces together, and I can finally see the bigger picture. Yoga, the beautiful art of mind, body, spirit healing. Qigong, medical Qigong, is what we're doing, is to bring energy skills to the body. And Reiki is the Japanese word for the transfer of kind, universal life force energy. We never send bad energy. It's only good energy. And in the pagan world, I would be a white witch. All these triggering words, but you know what? I want you to use your discernment to really know the difference between what's good and bad. When I was a kid, I knew if I did good, I would attract good. I knew my heart was a big magnet, and I wanted to attract more goodness in my life. And I knew if I did bad, it would attract negative energy in my life. So activate your heart and decide which direction your magnet is facing. Your electromagnet, your heart, that radiates energy into a field around you up to 17 meters in each direction when you're so-called turned on. And if you're interested in this kind of thing, there is a Heart Math Institute that actually calculates and quantifies scientifically all of these beautiful concepts I'm talking about. Heart healing activation. So I'm imagining my heart field is hugging you, is hugging the whole earth with love and healing and kindness and soothing energy. Whatever you need, Mucho, mucho amor from my heart to yours. It's a great documentary, by the way. You should watch it. Let's do 2 more breaths into the dantian. Imagine the gems that are glimmering in the beautiful still lake of the belly. And you can see the gem, maybe even one in particular, glowing in that clear water. This is where you store all of your good energy. It's like a savings account for your life. Good. Then we're going to step the feet together, comfortably, finding a position that works really nicely for you. And let's become a bamboo in the wind. So continuing a long, smooth breath, but letting go of any intention or attention. You're just letting your body flow, rock and sway. You might notice a directional change and you're like, oh, did I plan that? Just allow your body to settle. It's like you're in this cute little boat all by yourself in this beautiful little pond, and the water is clear and you can see a gem in the bottom, but a storm just passed through and it agitated the water. Maybe the trees got a little ruffled, and you're just back in your little boat. If you don't like boats, you're on the edge of the water, and you're basically meditating and flowing and really honoring your own vital energy, your chi. Maybe you smile a little, but whatever it is, let go. And we've heard the term, let go and let God. And I want you to remove every single religious thing you've ever been taught, just for a moment, and come into a true connection with the God of your own understanding. God, Goddess. The source, the field, the frequency, the light, the big kahuna. Feel and sense like you're not alone. You're connected very deeply to a vast network of souls and angels and energies that are simply experiencing this bipolar world, this bipolar brain. And we remember or think of a beautiful saying by Ram Dass, we're all just walking each other home. And it's said that being in a physical body is the hard part. That's the part where we go through the challenge, the ups and downs, the left and right, the good and the bad. But when we're out of body, when we're over the rainbow bridge or we've crossed, we're no longer living in a human body anymore, that is said to be the true nature of what we are. So honor your life, honor the lives around you. And if you get a long life, that's amazing. If it's a short life, that's amazing. Can we imagine with our deepest, truest instinct and wisdom and our nature and our earth connection that there are no mistakes? Angels even visit us in the form of troublemakers. So next time something rubs you the wrong way, can we come back to that oyster analogy? You are the pearl and you are the oyster. I honor you so greatly. Thank you if you've made it this far. I'm I'm going to hold my emotions together, but I'm feeling very emotional in a good way. I love life. I love you. I love me. Bamboo in the wind. Let's slowly finish things off. We'll step our feet a little bit wider apart. And we're going to rub our belly clockwise to honor the direction of digestion. I love you, belly. Thank you for helping me digest life. I love you, heart. Thank you for helping me to love. And I love you, mind. Thank you for helping me with wisdom. When you're ready, we'll release the hands with a beautiful, happy sigh. I wish you the most wonderful day. I wish you a wonderful sleep tonight where all your chakras will balance the best energy for you at this time. Release one bad habit in 2022, and I promise you the world is your oyster waiting for you to really turn into a butterfly. I'm going to bring the hands to the heart, bow the head just a little bit. We dedicate the merits of our practice to all beings. May all beings be relieved of their suffering, and may we dwell together with great fruitfulness and harmony. The light in me greatly honors and sees the light in you. Namaste.